We have our guest in the building. He's an independent artist. He's doing big things, making a lot of music, and he came all the way down from the city of New York to be with us this evening. We got Jay Sky in the building.
What's up?
One time for my guy.
Thanks for having me.
It's too late, but I still love you. Mama's like, no way, but my heart still wants you. You're like, too late, but I still love you. Mama's like, no way, but my heart still wants
you
What's
for
going
coming.
on, Jay, man? We got you all the way down here from the city of Boston, man.
Yep.
How was your trip? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but you actually spent some time living here in Boston and going to school here in Boston.
Yeah, I went to Berklee College of Music from 2012 to 2015. I finished up.
Okay.
And then I moved. I was bouncing around between New York and Boston for a little bit, and then I moved to Brooklyn.
Okay. Now, explain to me what it's like to be a student at Berklee College of Music, because it's right there downtown. And me living and growing up in the city of Boston, I go past their buildings every day, and you see the students out there, and they got their instruments, they got their guitars, they got the keyboards. But what is it like to be a student at Berklee and studying music and having all of those different creative geniuses around you?
For me, it was like first of all, it's like insane because it was like a dream of mine since I was like 15. There was like artists and stuff, people I looked up to that went there. So for me, it was just like over the top. But the people that are there are like, they're people, but they're not like anyone else because they're all super into their instruments and they're all like a little quirky.
Right.
Like different, like if you went to the CAF, it looks like it's Halloween sometimes. There's it's some crazy. You have like a red flock of seagull haircut.
Right.
You have like some patent leather pumps.
Right.
Anyone could be wearing it.
Right.
So it's crazy.
Right. So
It's good,
what was your concentration at Berklee?
Songwriting was my major, and I focused in production.
In production.
And then mainstream, like pop, like mainstream songwriting is like my craft.
Right. Is it really like really intense stuff? Like usually the normal college student would have to write like a 10-page paper, a research paper. What was your songwriting course like?
It's like small groups, but it's really what you put into it. Like I've been writing songs since I'm like 9.
Right.
And I just like before I was in the major, when I was undecided, but I knew I wanted to do songwriting, but you just stay doing it. I was writing every style from like hip hop to rock to country, jazz, like everything. I just like commercial music.
Right.
It's just my thing.
Right. So now that you're an artist and you're actually out here in the field and trying to make your way into the industry, how beneficial was it for you to actually go to school and study music?
It was beneficial. There's just stuff you learn. Sometimes while you're learning it, it seems like it's in the way.
Right.
But when you take a step back and you unlearn it, things are like tools and things that definitely help. But like nothing is better than like hard work at the end of it, you know?
Right.
Whether you went to school or you didn't go to school, hard work is the ultimate reward.
Right.
So I got a chance to read your bio, so let's dig into your background
All
a
right,
little
cool.
bit. I saw that you had a few struggles growing up.
Yeah.
Is that something that influences your music now?
Like 100%.
Okay,
I'm
so
like,
talk to me a little about that. I know your mother went through some things, and
Yeah.
that may have had an effect on you. How much of that do we see or hear in your music?
There's a lot of the emotion. I don't have stuff that I put out that I have like directly spoke about my mother. I have a lot of it on my laptop. That'll probably, some of it will sneak in this year. But like just the overall like emotion and like kind of heartache or pain is there a lot. Whether it like shadowed into relationships or women I chose to be with just for whatever.
Right.
So stuff like that.
Okay, and do you consider yourself to be a hip hop artist?
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I was listening to your most recent song, Hit It in the Morning. And it doesn't really, I don't really get that hip hop feel. Like it feels more of like a rock, like a soft rock type of song. Do you think there's a particular tone that distinguishes like this is hip hop or this is rock, or, you know, that separates the two genres?
For sure, there's definitely like separations in genres. There's crossovers. Growing up, I like from when I was like super young, I listened to hip hop, I listened to rock. I have all these influences, and like my bag of tricks. So it definitely sneaks in, and I'm not trying to lose it. I'm not trying to like. I don't try to like go in. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make like a trap track. Like I try to stay true to myself.
Right.
So if those things are there, it's just like honest to me. You know.
Right.
It definitely is there. Like if you hear that, it exists. You know what I mean?
Right. So is there a particular artist that you mimic?
I don't mimic. I don't really mimic. I just kind of go in and do my thing. I don't. Like in the past, if I try to like make something, it never comes out sounding like that person. That's not an organic way for me.
Right.
Okay. Well, who were some of your influences coming
Growing
up and doing music? Yeah.
So like I had like a 2 different babysitters. They both happened to give me like hip hop CDs. So when I was like 5, I had it was what was it? Peter Guns. I had like a 2-side cassette. So that New York or whatever that song is.
Right.
I had
that was like Lord Tariq.
Yeah. That was like one of the first ones, and then I had like a CD of the Locks, like Money, Power, Respect.
Yep.
I had stuff like that. Not that those are my favorite artists, but like that was like super early on. My parents like listened to stuff from like Alanis Morissette to The Dead to Van Halen. When I was 2, I went to Van Halen.
Okay.
So I was like Jones Beach
Yep.
on their shoulders and stuff like that. So just all the music is just like I love all of it. You know, I phase in and out. I have times I like this music. I have times I like that. I used to write and play for like a band like I wrote for. It's like a pop punk band. So whatever it is, I just try to keep it like true to myself or whatever I'm doing.
So, Jay, I got a question for you. From one musician to another, what is your influence? Like, what gets you going to produce stuff? What's your go-to? Is it something that you like to listen to, different elements, a location?
My messy room seems to travel wherever I go.
All right.
The messier, the more stuff. Like, I'm just like a person that has tons of thoughts constantly, but it's organized. Like, you could look at my desktop or you could look at things, but I know where everything is, and that's kind of like how I make stuff. But,
So,
yeah, sorry.
go ahead, continue on.
No, but that's how I make stuff. So it's just I just get ideas. Like I don't just whatever's around me, whatever it is, and that's like I just jump on. Like I'm real. That's like my personality for everything. I just try to like jump in 100%. You know.
So when you made this track, Hit It in the Morning, right?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to produce and mix and master this track alone?
Yeah. So this song, I'm almost in Brooklyn for about a year. I unpacked my stuff. I like set up my studio and then. Which it's like out of my room, and like that's the song I wrote. That was like my day one song that I wrote the day I moved into my apartment. I wrote the song and like produced like a demo. On this one, I have a collaborator who like did the track and he killed it. Matthew Sim, he's in Brooklyn too, but I made the demo and the full song. I'd say like about an hour. You know,
Nice.
Like I do it. I set up like the beat. Whatever it is, if I'm making the beat, if I pass it on to a producer to tighten it up, I just make the form of it. I put the mic on and I do a couple takes. I just kind of freestyle the whole thing out, and then I just sit there and tighten it up, and that's like my thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So as of recently, you've been dropping just straight singles.
Yeah.
And not really looking to put out a project. Now, what's the method behind the madness when it comes to that?
Well, I'm still growing it as an artist, so I'm trying to get. First, I'm like constantly developing my sound, and I want to grow with an audience. I want to figure myself out. I want to figure the people out and all this stuff. So I don't. If I drop like a huge project, I could miss. I rather spread it out and just like keep living. You know.
Right. Now, how would you describe your sound? Because most artists don't like to put themselves in a box.
Yeah.
You guys see artists doing different things nowadays. We got artists singing and rapping.
Yeah.
So how would you describe your sound?
I'd say it's like pop, indie, hip hop.
Okay.
So, but stuff varies. Like if you went on my SoundCloud, it goes from more pop indie to with like some female features and stuff like that, which is more like I was doing more like a Tove Lo thing, but I was really into that. I co-write for like pop singers and stuff like that, like up and coming ones. So just depending where I'm at or what project I'm in, I do stuff like that. So that was coming in my music more. Now I'm focusing a bit more on myself, so it's doing that kind of thing. Nice. And it blends everything from my influences.
Nice.
So have you worked with other hip hop artists?
I have done stuff, but my focus with collaborating is more with female pop indie artists.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Nice. So as an artist and a producer, when you make a beat or you write a song, how do you decide, well, I'm going to keep this one for myself
Yeah.
or I'm going to shop this around and maybe give it to a different artist? How do you decide?